Alright, so we are going to make some jellies today. I made some jams the other day. I will probably make a video on how to make those, or I might actually make those today. I don't know. The point is, we're going to go ahead and sterilize all these jars and lids that I got. Because you need to do that before you put anything in these, because they haven't been touched by people, you know, outside the wrapping, but they could have been touched in the factory and whatnot. So let's get that out of the way. Obviously I'm not going to go myself doing all of them because we will be here all day. So we will be doing one box right now. We will do another one in a little while. Alright, now we're going to fill this up with water. You want to make sure that all of this is completely submerged with water before we boil it. Alright, so now we are going to put our lid on this and put it to boil. Alright, we're going to turn the raspberries into raspberry jam and the blackberries into blackberry jelly. And then we'll make grape jelly for another video. You want to put all your berries, we're going to do them separate though, in a container to wash. Alright, so got these all cleaned and we are going to go ahead and wash them. Alright, I will say if this is something that you're planning on doing, do it same day or the day after, because I did notice that there was a few that started to mold. Raspberries and blackberries for some reason go bad really fast, so you know, you need to get those done ASAP. With that being said, let's go ahead and start cooking these. You're going to dump your berries. And give me a minute. If you have diabetes, this recipe is certainly not for you. I'm pretty sure there's sugar alternate recipes out there, but you are going to need a bunch of sugar. More than this, actually. Let me go ahead and put some more. That was probably about 2 cups. That was approximately 4 cups. And, of course, you're going to need fruit pectin. Make sure it's this one. It has a kosher certification if that's something that you're worried about. It said for cooked jam, you need about 7 cups of sugar to 1 box. This is about 4, so we'll do half of it. And we're going to stir this all together. And you might be like, oh, that's a lot of sugar. Well, yeah, it's jam. It's got to be sweet. And on top of that, the sugar kind of works as a preservative with the pectin to make our jam. You could use raw sugar for this. I wouldn't recommend using brown or any other type. But I would recommend just plain white sugar because honestly, that's just cheaper in the long run. But yeah. Now that all of this is all nice and mixed together, we are just gonna keep until it's a good consistency. Alright, our raspberry jam is looking great. Hopefully I can fit all of this in 6 jars. If I can't, I guess I'll be putting some of this in the freezer, giving some of it away to my neighbors. One of the two. So as you can see, they start to foam, and I'll teach y'all a secret so it doesn't foam so much. You're going to take a little like pat of butter and you're going to toss it in there. Just going to whoop. We're going to mix that in together. And it's close to being done actually. Alright, now we're going to reduce the heat on the raspberry. jam. As you can tell, it's starting to bubble, but we need it to simmer all the way, even on low. Alright, so I already sterilized my jars. I had to make sure that they were cool enough for me to be able to handle, make sure they're sterilized, make sure that when you grab this by the top part. Do not touch this because you want to make sure that this does not get any kind of germs on it. If it does, that boiling you just did, useless. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your jar. Alright, I got a spoon. You want to grab a spoon like this. If you grab a ladle, probably grab too much considering that we have small jars. If you had a big jar, I would say go and grab yourself a big soup ladle. One of these will come in handy. That way you can just do this and not get jam all over the rims or all over the sides. That's what happened to me the first time. I had one of these, but as you guys know, we moved, so I had to go digging for it. So I got my raspberry jam over here, and we're just gonna pour this bad boy in there. Don't try to fill it up all the way to the top because our can needs some space to be able to seal. That's called the headspace. There are special tools out there for you to make headspace whenever you can stuff. I prefer not to because I don't like putting my fingers in things that I'm trying to preserve like this. So you're going to take like I use flour sack towels, but you can either use a wet paper towel or like any kind of lint-free kitchen towel and just rub the rim. Make sure you don't accidentally dip it in there. And you're gonna stick your lid on. And you're gonna put the ring on it, but don't seal it too tight. Just like this. And you're gonna repeat that with as many jars as you're gonna put it in. I'm only going to do 12 jars. If I have any left over, they're probably going to go in a small jar or in a plastic container to go in the fridge. So, in total, probably would have made all of the quilted jars I had, but I really only wanted like 6. So you have 6 of these. 2 of these, which I will be giving away to people at work. And I will consider this freezer jam. I will be putting this up. Now we're going to go through all of these to get water bathed, and then we will move on to our blackberry jam. Alright, these are all in an appropriate amount of water. We're going to go ahead and throw these on the stove for 15 minutes. Alright, I took this out earlier, but since my phone had no battery, I couldn't record it. But we are going to let this sit here for 12 hours. Right now, looks like everything sealed, maybe. Oh man. I only, look, if you can do this, that's normally not a good thing, but I digress. You normally have to give it 12 hours to fully seal. If it doesn't fully seal by 12 hours, then you can either try sealing it again, or you can just put it in the fridge. So I will see you guys in 12 hours. And of course, here's my raspberry jam. There's 2 jars that didn't seal all the way, so I'm going to try to seal them one more time. If not, they're just going to turn into freezer jam jars. As you can tell, they definitely did jelly, and they are pretty.